Here in North America, we've been waiting since the 90s for a Type R Civic. Now, granted, it's true, back in late 90s, there was the Acura Integra Type R, which was based on the Honda Civic chassis. Fast forward to 2017, and we have this, the 2018 Honda Civic Type R, the real Type R. How can you tell? Well, it's got that wing in the back. It has the arrow in the front. It has arrow on the sides. It kind of looks a little ridiculous, but in a very good way. It's like an anime character come to life. It's like if you had 4 more of these, you could build your own Civic Type R Voltron. Now, if you want to look at the Honda product line overall, it was the NSX that was the most pure sports car you could buy from Honda. Well, the new NSX is a hybrid technological gee-whiz fun fest. But it's not a pure sports car anymore. It's way fancier and weirder than that. No, if you want the ultimate pure Honda sports car, you buy the Type R Civic. This is the car to get.
The Honda Civic Type R is a hatchback with a very large opening and 25.7 cubic feet of storage. The rear seats can be folded down to expand the storage all the way to 46.2 cubic feet. So it's not only fast and smart, it's practical too. In the second row, the Honda Civic Type R provides comfortable seating for 2 adults. Up front, the Type R makeover versus the standard Civic is very apparent. The seats are heavily bolstered, supportive, and covered in red fabric. There's more red trim around the carbon fiber pattern inlays and Type R badges throughout the cabin. The gauge cluster is all digital in the Civic Type R and allows you to configure different bits of information, such as boost levels or throttle position.
The vehicle's exterior is what it should be, white. That is the color of a Honda Special Edition. That's the one you buy. You do not buy the red one. The red one is the wrong Type R. Those of you looking at red Type Rs, you're looking at the wrong one. You need to get the white one. Why? Like you need to ask. Okay, I'll tell you.
In 1965, Honda unveiled its RA272 race car. It went on to dominate the Mexican Grand Prix that year from start all the way to finish. That made it the first ever Japanese car to win a Formula One Grand Prix. That car was white, and that is why the only proper Honda Type R is a white one. It's also why Honda fanboys race the B-Dasher kart in Mario Kart DS.
But it's not just the looks that make this car cool. In fact, it's the engine. And the engine is not what anybody expected the first North American Civic Type R to be. I mean, the original Type R, that was a naturally aspirated, high-strung 4-cylinder that really, I mean, it was putting out 200 horsepower. 200! This one, yeah, it puts out 306 to the front wheels. Now, how does it do that? Well, it is still a 4-cylinder, but this one has a turbocharger, and it winds only up to 7,000 RPM. So it is very different than the Civic Type Rs of the past. However, it's also way more efficient. This car will get 22 miles to the gallon on the highway and 28 on the freeway. For a car like this, that looks like this, that drives like this, it is amazing. So what is different in this car versus a standard Honda Civic? Well, actually, quite a lot. And it's not just the engine and the wing. Those are the obvious ones. What they've done is they've made the springs in the front twice as stiff as a standard Honda Civic. That's pretty crazy. And they've also upgraded bushings all around. So it is a much more responsive, much more engaging driving experience than you would have ever had in a Honda Civic. I mean, without actually modifying and building your own to the nth degree. One of the trademark features of this vehicle is the exhaust in back. They have this really fancy setup where they actually have 3 pipes that converge and diverge, and there's a resonator and all that. And that is all so that this car puts out this fantastic sound that I can't really hear much. I mean, honestly, as far as sounds go, this has to be one of the quietest sports cars I've ever driven. There's hardly anything going on back there. Even outside the vehicle, extremely quiet. When you see a WRX go by, when you see a Focus RS go by, you can hear those. This one, not so much. And while we're talking about the WRX STI and the Focus RS, this is a direct competitor to those vehicles. It costs a little bit less, but it's right in there with them. The big difference, of course, is that this one is front-wheel drive. Those vehicles are all-wheel drive. So right off the bat, you're going to have a slightly different buyer. However, if you want a vehicle that's economical, but extremely fast and handles right in there with them, you gotta consider the Type R. It is a better daily driver than either of those vehicles. It's comfortable, it doesn't beat me up, and when I'm in comfort mode, the suspension's actually pretty pliable. And when I want to get on it, I can put it into plus R mode, and I have all 306 horsepower at my disposal. Now, this car does have a controversial feature, and that is automatic rev matching. So what is automatic rev matching? Well, it's for people who can't really heel toe, and they want to still not get that little bit of a seesaw action when they're downshifting in a corner. So it matches the revs when you're downshifting. I think honestly for a lot of people, it's fine. If you want to disable it, it's completely disableable. You're not paying extra. It just comes on the car. Now, of course, if we want to, we can disable the feature. While we're on the topic of the nav system and sitting here, I actually like Honda nav systems, but this one, it's really slow. You click something and you wait. You click something and you wait. Now, I think it's probably a little bit worse because recently I drove the Honda Odyssey, and that has the newest system. And that new system's way quicker and actually better designed. So it's a little bit of a step back. You're going into basically last year's system with the Type R Touring. And it is what you get. You're not paying extra really, because you can only get this car in the Touring model with the navigation and with the 12-speaker sound system. So that's okay. You know, honestly, I don't mind having it. It at least works well as a backup screen. Now let's talk active safety. There isn't any. Moving on. So let's just say you love this car, but you really want the old style Civic body. Well, Honda's got you covered as well. They recently announced that you can get this engine in a crate format. You can just buy the Civic Type R engine, turbo and all, and then you can stick it into any other chassis you want. I can't wait to see SEMA show next year, where, you know, we'll probably see a 78 Honda Civic with a Type R engine in it. That'll be amazing. This car, however, is not bad. The shifter is a 6-speed. It has really good feel. Not quite as good a feel as a Miata, but that car is its own little universe. Very good, right up there with Subaru's BRZ, which I really like their shifter too. There is no handbrake, but other than those aspects, I think this is a great deal at $35,000. I mean, what else are you gonna get for that price point? Its primary competitors, the WRX and the Focus RS, cost another $10,000 on top of this. And really all you're getting is less comfortable and all-wheel drive. For Driving Sports TV, I'm Ryan Douthit. This has been my first look at the 2018 Honda Civic Type R. It is an amazing hot hatchback, and it really, I want one. I really want one. How can I convince my wife? Maybe she'll let me sell the WRX.